It may surprise or even shock you to hear what I'm about to say, but if you're seeing this video right now, it's no accident. As a chosen one, you're on the brink of a big move, a little relocation, a major career leap, or a spiritual transition, and God is telling you to leave certain things behind. It's not about rejecting your past or acting superior. It's about traveling light so you can ascend unhindered. Before we dive into the specifics, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment with 77 below to send a powerful signal to the universe. Replay this video as many times as you feel led. If you're truly chosen, you'll stick around till the very end. If not, you'll likely exit long before these insights take hold. Chapter 1. Do not take your bitterness. Bitterness is one of the heaviest burdens you can carry. It is when we internalize disappointments or betrayals, letting them fester rather than heal. You might tell yourself, I'm just being cautious. But in reality, bitterness seeps into your perspective on everything. Relationships, opportunities, even your hope for the future. People you meet every day might urge you to get over it, but they don't see how deep the wounds run. Yet as a chosen one, you're not destined to dwell in that darkness. God is saying, as you move, do not take bitterness with you. It's not a naive command to pretend everything is fine. Rather, it's an instruction to release what you've been clinging to in resentment so your spirit can breathe. See, bitterness erects walls around your heart. It distorts trust, making you suspicious of even genuine offers of kindness. But if you're about to step into a new season of blessings, you can't afford to have a suspicious lens distorting every gift or open door. One way to relinquish bitterness is to confront it directly. Write down who or what you're resentful toward. Offer it up to God or the universe in prayer or meditation, explicitly stating, I release this hurt. People assume letting go means declaring the offense as trivial, but that's not so. You can recognize an offense was real while still choosing to move beyond it. That choice is the real power, reclaiming authority over your emotional state instead of letting old memories steal your present joy. What does freedom from bitterness look like? Imagine walking into a new environment, a new city, new job, or new ministry, unencumbered by the grudges you held. You're not scanning every face, bracing for betrayal. Instead, you proceed with healthy vigilance, yes, but also with an open heart that's ready to receive fresh connections. Because bitterness left behind a vacuum, you find yourself more receptive to uplifting relationships. The watchers or spiritual forces guiding you appreciate that you're no longer lugging emotional baggage. It signals you are prepared to handle bigger blessings without the contamination of old resentment. Additionally, letting go of bitterness benefits your health. Chronic anger or resentment can manifest as stress, affecting sleep and overall well-being. The sense of release you get from forgiving yourself or others lightens not just your mood but your entire posture toward life. It reaffirms that you're stepping into a future shaped by hope, not imprisoned by grudges. In that posture, you create space for deeper love, deeper creativity, and deeper influence as a chosen soul. So let bitterness be the first item you leave behind. God wouldn't command you to discard it if there wasn't something far better awaiting you. By dropping that heaviness at the threshold, you'll find your spirit better aligned with the opportunities about to unfold. Without bitterness clouding your outlook, you become an agent of grace, poised to accept the blessings and fulfill the missions designed for you since the beginning. And that's precisely the posture needed to step into the next stage of your remarkable journey. Chapter 2. Do not take your doubts. Doubt often pretends to be caution, yet it silently robs the chosen ones of the confidence to walk through God's open doors. Past failures, negative voices, or unfulfilled goals can stir this inner critic, convincing you to stay small. But as you stand on the brink of a new chapter, God urges you to leave doubt behind. It's tempting to think doubt protects you from disappointment. In reality, it paralyzes you before you even begin, flooding your mind with endless what-ifs. Letting go of doubt doesn't mean ignoring logic. It means trusting that if God called you to something, He will equip you. Faith is contagious. When you enter a room believing you're meant to be there, others sense your conviction and rally around you. Limiting self-talk, however, repels both opportunities and allies. To release doubt, retrain your inner dialogue. Replace "I'm not sure" with "I can handle the next step." Over time, this mental shift weakens doubt's grip. Remember, God's plan unfolds in stages. Delay isn't denial. By discarding doubt, you stride boldly into every new door, turning fearful gambles into purposeful steps, revealing the unstoppable force you truly are. Chapter 3. Do not take your old mindsets. A crucial stumbling block for many chosen ones is carrying old mindsets into new territories. These are the beliefs that served you in a prior season or environment, but now hinder you from embracing fresh growth. God is saying, as you move, do not take these outdated mental frameworks with you. Whether it's a scarcity mentality, a habit of self-censorship, or an expectation of failure, such old mindsets align with the opportunities about to emerge. Consider how you once navigated adversity. Maybe you learned to keep your aspirations small to avoid disappointment, or you resorted to cynicism to shield yourself from betrayal. People you meet every day might casually say, "We all have baggage," but for a chosen one, clinging to that baggage weighs heavily on your future potential. Old coping strategies forged in past battles can hamper you in new arenas that actually demand expansiveness, creativity, and trust. One sign you're holding on to an outdated mindset is the sense of friction when stepping into better circumstances. For instance, receiving an extraordinary job offer might trigger suspicion. Is this too good to be true? Or, I don't deserve this. Yet instead of celebrating, you sabotage by missing deadlines or postponing decisions out of fear. That's your old mindset reacting, not your present reality. Old mindsets often produce mismatched emotional responses to present blessings. To break free, start by identifying these patterns. Write down repeated thoughts or phrases you catch yourself using, like, "I'm not that lucky," "Opportunities like this never work out for me," or "People always let me down." Then challenge them with a new lens. Is it truly never, or just a pattern that's become self-fulfilling? This reflection can highlight how you might be perpetrating the same cycles of disappointment or sabotage through negative expectations. Another practical step is immersing yourself in new environments or dialogues that reflect the mindset you desire. If you want an abundance mindset, surround yourself with content or individuals who've transitioned from lack to plenty. Let their stories dismantle your old scripts. Observing how they overcame limiting beliefs can spark a realization. If they rewrote their mental narrative, so can I. This infusion of positive references helps overwrite your mental software. Additionally, anchor your shift in a spiritual discipline. Prayer or meditation specifically aimed at releasing old patterns can create internal shifts. Visualize your old mindsets as heavy luggage, set down at a crossroads replaced by a light, flexible approach that welcomes growth. People might find this symbolic, but symbolism can speak powerfully to the subconscious. Repeatedly practicing such mental exercises cements the new thinking style. Ultimately, discarding your old mindsets paves the way for seamless integration into the next stage. Otherwise, you risk fighting internal battles while trying to seize external opportunities. The Watchers present open doors with the assumption you'll adapt your beliefs accordingly. By choosing a fresh mental lens, you align yourself with the blessings designed for you. Entering new rounds unshackled, the result is a flow state where your external environment and internal narrative work in harmony, magnifying each success and confirming that you've truly left behind the weights that once impeded your rise. Chapter 4. Do not take unhealed past wounds on the path of ascension. Unhealed past wounds can be an invisible anchor. As a chosen one, you're mandated to operate at a higher vibration, but old hurts from parental neglect, betrayal by close friends, or personal tragedies can cling like shadows. People you meet every day might tell you to move on, but seldom do they offer the roadmap for authentic healing. Yet God insists, as you move into this new era, do not take these old wounds with you, not because your pain doesn't matter, but precisely because letting it define your future stifles the fullness of your destiny. Carrying unhealed wounds often shows up in recurring emotional triggers. A harmless joke might set you off, or a subtle act of critique may cause disproportionate anger. These raw spats reveal unresolved trauma. When you bring such triggers into new relationships or opportunities, you risk misreading harmless cues as threats, causing friction or sabotage. The Watchers want you unencumbered so you can embrace fresh beginnings wholeheartedly. Instead of replaying old traumas in new contexts, healing doesn't require forgetting. You can honor your experiences, recognize how they shaped your compassion or sharpened your discernment without letting them become chains. A practical method is to address your trauma head-on. That might look like therapy, journaling, or spiritual retreats designed to help you confront old pain. While it's uncomfortable, each layer you peel back lightens your emotional load. The Watchers view that courageous self-work as a sign you're serious about stepping fully into your calling. Another approach is forgiveness, an often misused term. True forgiveness doesn't condone wrongdoing. It frees you from the toxic cycle of resentment. This release might be the final step in discarding old wounds, ensuring they don't mutate into bitterness that stains every new horizon. Some people think, I can't forgive, it was too severe. Indeed, the offense may have been huge, but the chosen path demands releasing it so the wound no longer festers, robbing you of peace and clarity. Instead, you transform the memory into a monument of growth, not a perpetual open sore. Moreover, acknowledging that each heartbreak or abuse played a role in refining your empathy helps integrate it healthfully. That empathic edge can become a powerful tool in your next phase, allowing you to sense undercurrents and help others navigate their own healing. People might see your kindness or understanding as natural, but you know it was birthed from the crucible of pain. Once healed, that empathy acts as a guiding light, not a scar that bleeds on to new experiences. Finally, choosing to leave behind your unhealed wounds doesn't mean you disregard them or pretend they never happened. It means you do the inner excavation so they no longer overshadow your present joy or your future potential. By stepping into your new season, unshackled by old trauma, you greet each opportunity with the fullness of your heart. The Watchers marvel at how you've turned adversity into wisdom, free of resentments and open to the grace of new connections. You find the next step of your destiny unfolds with less friction, validating that you truly left behind what once weighed you down. Chapter 5. Do not take toxic alliances. As you transition into a season brimming with fresh prospects, one crucial directive from God is to leave behind toxic alliances. This might feel daunting, especially if these relationships have been staples in your life. Yet the Watchers are clear. You can't step fully into your new blessings while tethered to people or environments that sabotage your growth. People you meet every day might say, but you owe them loyalty, or you can't just cut ties. In truth, the path of a chosen one sometimes requires you to shift relationships that hinder your destiny. Toxic alliances vary. It could be a friend who constantly belittles your ambitions, a family member draining you with endless drama, or a mentor whose guidance became manipulative. Initially, you might have tolerated or excused these behaviors out of empathy or fear of conflict. But with the upcoming opportunities, the cost of holding on to toxic connections is too high. Their negativity or demands can overshadow the clarity you need for wise decision-making. Anxiety or second-guessing can run rampant, hampering your ability to deliver your best in new roles or projects. One way to identify toxicity is by evaluating how you feel post-interaction. Do you leave their presence feeling deflated, doubting yourself, or carrying emotional burdens that overshadow your joy? If so, it's a red flag. Likewise, watch for patterns of envy, manipulation, or persistent guilt tripping. Genuine relationships allow mutual uplifting, not persistent power plays. If these patterns have become the norm, it's time to sever, or at least, significantly limit contact. Cutting ties isn't about hatred, it's about emotional stewardship. You can wish someone well without tethering yourself to their dysfunction. If the Watchers are lining up events and people to propel you upward, continuing to entertain negativity from old alliances could sabotage that momentum. The divine realm invests in your success, but also respects your free will. If you keep opening doors to people who tear you down, you hamper the synergy of higher forces. Facing guilt is natural. You might feel you're betraying or abandoning them, especially if they once supported you in a minor capacity. But in your heart, you know the difference between a relationship that's challenging yet transformative versus one that's systematically damaging. The watchers see your willingness to remove harmful influences as a sign of maturity, that you're serious about preserving the sanctity of your calling. When you do let go, keep your approach kind but firm. Dramatic exits or vindictive statements only create additional karmic entanglements. "I need to step back from this connection for my well-being" suffices. They might resist or lash out, but remain composed. The watchers and your internal moral barometer confirm you're on the right track. By walking away from toxic alliances, you create space for healthy partnerships aligned with your next level. You'll find new allies who champion your ideas, respect your boundaries, and push you to shine even brighter. Freed from the shadows of draining relationships, your spirit radiates with less interference, allowing each new opportunity to be explored wholeheartedly. That liberation from toxicity is crucial for maximizing the blessings awaiting you, ensuring your energy and focus remain uneluded as you ascend into the life you are predestined to claim. Chapter 6. Do not take your old self-image. As you move forward into an era of abundant possibilities, this message includes a call to let go of your old self-image. This may be the trickiest item to leave behind because it's woven into your daily self-concept, how you identify, how you talk to yourself, and what you believe you're capable of. Yet holding on to an outdated identity can limit your capacity to embody fresh opportunities. People you meet every day might comment on how you haven't changed or they remember you from past mistakes. But as a chosen one, evolution is your ongoing journey. Clinging to the old impedes that progression. Often we base our self-image on past results, jobs we held, degrees we earned, or feedback from peers. While those chapters shape two perspectives, they're not necessarily a snapshot of your current potential. If you identify too closely with who you were, you risk ignoring who you're becoming. Imagine stepping into a new leadership role with the mindset of your shy 19-year-old self who dreaded public speaking. That mismatch stifles your innate ability to command the room. Now that you've grown, the watchers want you fully present in who you are today, not anchored in who you used to be. Another facet is how your environment contributed to your sense of self. Perhaps you grew up in an area or family context that told you, "Don't aim too high, that's for other people." Or you survived cycles of trauma that convinced you you'd never break free. Those labels and beliefs can persist even after your circumstances improve. If you keep telling yourself, "I'm just that person who struggles," you sabotage the readiness required for your upcoming blessings. By redefining yourself in line with the new you, you unlock the confidence to claim bigger roles you once thought beyond reach. A practical strategy is to speak affirmations that mirror your new identity. Instead of "I'm an anxious person," you declare, "I'm resilient, learning each day to handle challenges." This isn't self-deception. It's reprogramming your internal narrative to align with the person you're evolving into. People might accuse you of faking it, but authentic transformation often feels odd at first because it clashes with old scripts. Repetition cements the shift, eventually making the new you your second nature. As you discard your old self-image, be prepared for pushback from those who benefited from your old limitations. A partner or friend might resist your new assertiveness or positivity. They might say you've changed with a negative tone. Indeed, you have changed by design for the better. Confirm that you still care for them, but you refuse to remain trapped in a persona that no longer matches your calling. Some relationships adapt, others do fade. The watchers interpret this friction as further validation that you're leveling up, not stepping back. Ultimately, you can't carry an outdated self-image into a new realm of possibility. Let that old story rest. Embrace the present version of you that's more seasoned, more faithful, and more prepared to seize the opportunities God is placing at your feet. By confidently walking in your updated identity, you signal cosmic readiness. No more illusions or limiting narratives. You're poised to function as the vibrant, unstoppable soul you were always destined to become, leaving behind the smallness that once felt familiar but never truly fit. Chapter 7. Stepping into your next season, unencumbered. After you decide not to carry bitterness, doubt, old mindsets, unhealed wounds, toxic alliances, or an outdated self-image, You stand at the threshold of your new season unencumbered. It's a powerful moment, feeling lighter, freer, and more open than you ever have before. People you meet every day might sense a shift in your aura, remarking that something about you glows differently. That glow is the manifestation of a soul no longer weighed down by the baggage God said to leave behind. Stepping into this next phase demands action, not merely reflection. You've let go of intangible and tangible burdens, making room for unprecedented blessings. Now, you must move. Maybe that means literally packing your bags and relocating to a city that resonates with your calling. Perhaps it's launching the business or ministry you've mulled over for years, or it might be a more subtle shift, like finally accepting leadership responsibilities in your community. Whatever the application, the Watchers guide your steps, weaving synchronicities and connections to confirm you're on the right path. As you step, remain vigilant about potential flashback moments. Old habits or acquaintances might resurface, tempting you to revert to past patterns. But with your new clarity, you spot the lure quickly. If bitterness tries to creep in after a minor disappointment, you recall that you've relinquished bitterness as a hold. If a manipulative acquaintance attempts to reel you back, you stand firm, remembering that toxic alliances made your spirit heavy. These flashback moments serve as tiny final tests, ensuring you genuinely parted ways with what no longer serves you. Another facet is your growing trust in divine orchestration. Freed from the illusions of scarcity or self-doubt, you interpret delays or minor hurdles differently now. Rather than panicking, you view them as gentle nudges to pivot or refine. The Watchers appreciate that you're not throwing in the towel at the first sign of resistance. Instead, you apply faith and creativity to adapt. This resilience becomes your hallmark, showing that your transformation isn't superficial, but deeply rooted. In this fresh space, your gifts often flourish beyond prior limits. If you're creative, the ideas flow with newfound fluidity. If you're an organizer or leader, you unify people effortlessly. If you're a healer or mentor, your insights resonate at a deeper frequency, touching lives more profoundly. Observers may deem it overnight success, unaware of the spiritual house cleaning you performed. They see the final fruit, not the seeds sown in quiet, tearful moments of release. Finally, stepping into your new season unencumbered means living in alignment each day. Your thoughts, words, and actions converge around your purpose, unburdened by the old baggage you've shed. The Watchers recognize you're a vessel ready for bigger blessings, bigger missions, and broader reach. So they open further channels, reinforcing the cosmic principle. The more you cast off what God says not to take, the more your hands remain free to receive the abundance intended for you. In that pure readiness, you become unstoppable, stepping forward boldly into the life that's always been waiting, now fully accessible, now fully yours.